from Team Oregon and future DVM specializing in equine reproduction. Today, I'll be giving a presentation on the topic of equine artificial insemination, commonly referred to as AI. I'll also be demonstrating the processes of palpation, ultrasound, and insemination of a mare. Let's suppose you want to breed your mare to a stallion in Texas, but your mare is in Oregon. Here's where AI comes in. With the technology and accessibility of artificial insemination, horse breeders and owners can breed their horses all over the country, no matter how far away a mare and stallion are from each other. Why should you choose AI? First of all, it reduces the risk of transmitting both venereal and non-venereal diseases from horse to horse. It also reduces the risk of injury to horses and handlers during the breeding process. Preliminary preparation. Once a mare owner has chosen a stallion, they can order semen from the stallion owner, keeping in mind that not all stallions offer AI for breeding. The semen is collected from the stallion using a breeding dummy and an artificial vagina. The sample is then analyzed for appearance, motility, and concentration by the stallion's breeder or veterinarian. It is then stored and either cooled or frozen. The difference between cooled semen and frozen semen is that cooling is a process for transporting and using semen somewhere within 24 hours, ideally, whereas freezing involves storing the semen in liquid nitrogen where it can be kept for a very long time. In fact, some equine reproduction facilities have reported successful pregnancy when using semen that have been stored for 20 years. How is that possible? By keeping the semen in a strictly controlled environment and using chemicals called extenders. Extenders balance the pH levels of the semen and elongate the lifespan of the sperm cells. Cooled semen can be stored in bags, such as this, or in vials, which is what I have a sample in today. It should be transported in a container like this, which is insulated and also includes a cold pack to keep it at a controlled temperature. Frozen semen should be stored and transported in a vacuum container, such as an equitainer. Upon arrival, the semen can be thawed in water and then kept in an incubator at body temperature. For now, I'm going to place the sample into my portable incubator until I'm ready to inseminate our mare. Now, let's move on to the fun part. If a mare owner is planning on breeding using artificial insemination, they should keep track of their mare's estrus cycle well in advance to get a decently accurate prediction of when she will ovulate to choose a good time to breed her. The estrus cycle, or heat cycle, is a mare's equivalent to a menstrual cycle. It controls all the checks and balances of a mare's hormones and reproductive abilities. It lasts about 21 days and also includes a 14 to 15-day period of diestrus, where a mare's hormones decrease substantially. A veterinarian can periodically check to see what the follicle looks like during different parts of her cycle. Using this high-tech ultrasound machine, I can show you what this would look like. But first, this is how I will perform the ultrasound. Because of the anatomical positioning of the uterus and ovaries inside the mare, I will have to insert the scanning device into the rectum in order to get a good view of the cervix and the uterine body, and make my way over the uterine horn, and finally I can scan over the ovaries. Before I go any further, I'll need to introduce you to the mare that I will be performing the ultrasound on and inseminating today. This is Nina. I'll need to wrap her tail to keep it out of the way during the procedure. Then I will need to put on a glove and some lubricant. And remove any fecal matter from the rectum. Then I will insert the device so it's scanning downward and slowly push my hand further into the rectum, allowing any involuntary muscle contractions to push my hand back out, because pushing against that could make this way more uncomfortable for our mare than it has to be, and we wouldn't want that. And soon, I should have the image I need. And it looks like our mare is in the right window for breeding. Ideally, we want to inseminate our mare within a window of need to put on another clean glove. And attach it at the shoulder so it doesn't fall down. And then I will need to get a pipette ready. A pipette is what I'll use to insert the semen. I will put the semen into the syringe and attach it directly to the pipette. To avoid getting any air inside the uterus, I'll need to put some of the semen in the pipette to clear it out. And I will first insert my hand and locate the cervix. Then, using my arm as a guide, I will insert the semen directly into the uterus. And if all goes as planned, we should have a foal in about 11 months. We can perform another ultrasound to see if our mare did in fact ovulate, and we can inseminate her again to increase our chances of a resulting pregnancy. So, now that I'm finished up with my mare, I'd like to answer some questions from my viewers via my Nicker feed. Dr. Julia, my mare seems to have an irregular heat cycle, but when she is in heat, her behavior really shows it. I just have a hard time tracking it, and I want to breed her using AI this next season. What should I do? Well, that's a very good question. When a mare is in estrus or in heat, there can be some very telltale signs, like seeking out stallions and, as we all well know, overall moodiness. There are some natural methods that can help regulate her cycle, such as teasing. Teasing a mare refers to introducing her to a stallion in a controlled environment to stimulate hormonal changes. There are also some artificial methods, such as keeping her under timed lights in her stall to manipulate her biological clock, or by giving her hormone injections to induce ovulation. Dr. Julia, I was thinking of breeding my mare using AI. What's the overall difference in cost of AI versus live cover? And is one more cost efficient than the other? That all really depends. Typically, live cover would be more cost efficient if a mare and stallion are close to each other and if the cover takes right away. But in a case where the mare and stallion are on opposite sides of the country, or if your mare has trouble getting pregnant, then AI would be a far more cost efficient option. Dr. Julia, why is it that some stallions don't offer artificial insemination as a breeding option? Some stallions can't offer artificial insemination because they won't mount a breeding dummy, and therefore the stallion owner can't collect semen from that particular stallion. Also, some stallion semen can't survive the freezing or cooling processes, and it dies or loses motility easily. So the loss of viability wouldn't make it cost effective for the mare or stallion owner. Also, some breed registries won't allow stallions to offer AI as a breeding option. And it looks like I have a picture in from one of my past viewers. Dr. Julia, thanks for informing us about the process of artificial insemination. It really helped us with our decision. Last year, we bred our mare using AI, and here's a picture of her healthy foal. Aww. So, what have we learned? In today's episode, I've discussed some of the benefits of artificial insemination. I've also demonstrated the processes of palpation, ultrasound, and insemination of a mare. I've briefly overviewed this topic from semen collection to mare insemination, but there's so much more depth to this topic that it was hard to fit even the basics into just one program. So, if any of my viewers would like more information on this topic, some resources that I found helpful in my research were Dr. Brott at the Lynn Veterinary Hospital, the Merck Veterinary Manual, Stallion AI Services, the American Association of Equine Practitioners, the Pilchuck Veterinary Hospital, Select Breeder Services, and these websites. Thanks for tuning in. Everyone in my studio audience will be receiving a fact sheet on artificial insemination provided by the American Quarterpose Association. Thank you for watching. Are there any questions?
Yes. Could you elaborate a little bit more on why certain breeds don't accept it?
The question was, could I elaborate on why some breeds don't accept artificial insemination? One that I know for sure is that the Jockey Club doesn't allow it as a breeding option because they want to keep everything succinct in a traditional way to make sure that all of the breed lines stay pure.
Can you sex your foal like you can in cattle?
Can I what?
Determine the sex of the foal. Like in cattle today, when I breed my heifers, I can choose either male or female foal, well, calf. Can you do that with horses?
The question was, can I sex the foal prior to artificial insemination?
Right, but prior to.
I would have to research more on that. I didn't come across anything in my research, but that would be very interesting to find out.
I don't know the answer. I know you can in cattle. I don't know the answer if you can in horses.
Are there any other questions?
Yeah, I do have, but I didn't know if they were done yet.
Yeah, we're
Pardon
just
me?
talking.
Okay.
Please go.
My question is, during your program today, you talked about the breeding dummy. You may bring this up in another one of your episodes, but what are some ways that you said a stallion may have difficulty using a dummy? Are there techniques to get a stallion to use it?
One technique, the question was, are there any techniques for getting a stallion to use a breeding dummy? I know that they begin training the stallions semi-young, so they will know to mount the breeding dummy. During most of the techniques, I know that they have a mare that's in heat in the area to arouse the stallion to mount the breeding dummy.
Good, thank you. And this is off the subject, so what are your thoughts about cloning?
The question was, what are my thoughts about cloning? The national qualifier that was from Oregon last year did a speech on cloning, and I thought it was very interesting that they are able to do that. The progression of technology, I think, is amazing. And the reasoning behind it is sometimes they can use it for carrying on certain lines or traits in performance horses. And also for people who have that kind of money, they can clone their pets if they really do have that special bond with their horse. And I think it's really amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.